The second Quantum class ship, the Anthem, is going to start its life in the UK. So it's nearly identical to its twin sister, the Quantum, but there are a few changes. There are, for instance, a kettle in every stateroom. Michael's Genuine Pub behind me has added Yorkshire pudding to its menu. And the biggest difference, the most noticeable difference, is in the art.
You really need to have a cohesive theme, otherwise it's just a random jumbling of art. And in this case, the theme was what makes life worth living. And it's a very broad concept, but when you actually apply it, it gives us a commonality, things that we can look at in different medium and different ways of approaching things. And one of the things they've done here, which I really am very impressed with, is there's always a little yin and yang, a little bit of surprise and delight, which is something we like to think about, a little unexpected. And actually, as we go on this staircase, you really get a good sense of that. First of all, they've really made the whole back wall part of the framing. It's no longer just a picture mounted on a wall, but the wall has been shaped to work together with the art. I happen to like this particular juxtaposition because here you have, by the one artist, two pieces, and this is what you would normally expect, and it's a very beautiful piece of art. But then what he did was he also took it and, in effect, it looks like he sucked the color out. And so you see the full piece of art and, in effect, the blander version of it. And I just think the closeness of the two, the juxtaposition of them as you come up the stairs, it just makes this more than just a landing. This is a nice place you can actually spend time, and people do walk up and down these stairs to look at all the different art pieces.
So it's funny, just one flight up in the same stairwell is my favorite piece. And it's by the same artist. And I love the kid with the Louis Vuitton satchel as he's running off to some adventure. And then there's the other kind of kids up in the sky.
Well, this is actually the first time we've ever done this where we've devoted a whole area to one artist. I do happen to like this. I don't always agree with your taste. And I think that makes life interesting. But the colors, if you look at him, his pants, his jacket, they're really quite vibrant, really out of proportion compared to the rest of the image. But I think that it's just a bit of fun.
So Richard, what do we have here? It's a platform with two handprints, and it doesn't strike me as art.
Well, the handprints are not the art. Of course, the art is above us. And this was one of the more controversial pieces of art on the ship, and is turning out to be one of the more successful ones. But if you put your hands on there, just against the pad, and you hold them there for about 10 seconds, eventually it will begin to pick up your heartbeat. And when it does, all of these 220 bulbs will start syncing. There we go. That is your heart. We can hear it. We can see it. And then when you stop, then it will absorb your heartbeat into the sequence of the 219 that preceded you. So it drops one off and adds you. And so now you're listening to the cacophony of 220 individual heartbeats.
So Richard, you said that this was one of your favorite pieces.
Well, it is, I think, and it's not that it is one of the major pieces on board, but it's a wonderful piece, and I think it's typical of what we were trying to accomplish, because each of the triptychs is a nice image in and of itself. And then as it moves, and you can see it's partially into that, it starts to reveal itself as though there's somebody behind it uncovering it. And you really see there's a three-dimensionality to it. So it's this hidden aspect which just I found very intriguing and very much in sync with the imagery we were trying to do and the aura we were trying to create on board.
So Richard, this was still as we approached it, and then as we got closer it started moving. So what is going on here?
Well, either it's an amazing coincidence or those sensors up there that are pointed at us are recognizing that we're here and that it is an interactive piece of art. And it essentially replicates your pattern in these wooden blocks. And I think that's so much fun that you can do that. You can see what it's like with different people. You can see what different motion does. And yes, it's not that it's a coincidence that because you walk by, you happen to be coming as it was moving. It is sensing you. So much of the ship is high tech. We're using technology in so many things. And the opportunity to complement what we're doing in terms of our offerings with our art seemed natural to us.
Richard Fain says he's no art expert, but clearly he's given a lot of thought to it. And if there's one thing, one word that would characterize the art on board the Anthem, maybe separates it a bit from the Quantum, that word would be whimsy. We're going to end here by one of my favorite pieces, which is maps made into clothing. This is Arnie Weissmann for Travel Weekly.